as with every other class we've taken a look at, the rogue also gets optional class features. And for the rogue, it's really only one feature, but it's a pretty powerful one. And it's steady aim, and this is a 3rd level feature. It doesn't replace any existing features for the rogue. This is a straight up buff, a straight up new option that you get at 3rd level as any kind of rogue. And steady aim is you can use a bonus action to give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn and after you use the bonus action. Your speed is 0 until the end of the current turn. What this means is if you're a rogue and you haven't moved on your turn, since we can only use bonus actions on our turn, if you haven't moved on your turn and you don't need to move after this, it's kind of a focused shot and you can give yourself advantage. And the huge boon to this is that if you have advantage and you're attacking a creature, then you can provoke your or invoke your sneak attack damage if you hit them. So wow, straight up buff. Now granted, this does make you stationary. You can't move before or after you do this on your turn, so there is a consideration to be made there. But when in doubt and you need that advantage and you don't have allies next to them or advantage any other way, you want to get that sneak attack damage, just do a steady aim. Straight up buff. See, I don't know, I kind of like as a player and also as a DM, the rogue's thought process into using sneak attack and trying to find creative ways to make it happen. This kind of supersedes that, but at the same time, it is very helpful, especially if you don't have party members around and you still want to get that sneak attack damage and you can't do it from stealth. So yeah, straight up buff. Only one feature in the optional stuff, but let's go ahead and take a look at the subclass options for Rogue and Tasha's Cauldron. The first is the Phantom. Many rogues walk a fine line between life and death, risking their own lives and taking the lives of others. While adventuring on that line, some rogues discover a mystical connection to death itself. These rogues take knowledge from the dead and become immersed in negative energy, eventually becoming like ghosts. Thieves Guilds value them as highly effective information gatherers and spies. Many Shadar-kai of the Shadowfell are masters of these macabre techniques, and some are willing to teach this path. In places like Thay in the Forgotten Realms and Karnath in Eberron, where many necromancers practice their craft, a phantom can become a wizard's confidant and right hand. In temples of gods of death, the phantom might work as an agent to track down those who try to cheat death and to recover knowledge that might otherwise be lost to the grave. How did you discover this grim power? Did you sleep in a graveyard and awaken to your new abilities, or did you cultivate them in a temple or thieves guild dedicated to a deity of death? Pretty dark, pretty grim subclass, but very nice departure from some of the other rogue subclasses offered. Let's take a look at the features. At 3rd level, when you get this subclass, first you get Whispers of the Dead. Echoes of those who have died cling to you. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can choose one skill or tool proficiency that you lack and gain it, as a ghostly presence shares its knowledge with you. You lose this proficiency when you use this feature to choose a different proficiency that you lack. This is, wow, as if rogues weren't already great at skills and tools to begin with. This makes them even better, and I like the RP implications of this, as you have these spirits of the dead, teach you and talk you through things. Very cool, very cool. So in a short or long rest, and you add your proficiency bonus, so it'll scale between when you get this feature at 3rd level, you'll add 2 to whatever skill or tool proficiency you pick, and that'll scale the whole way up to 6. So depending on your level. So very cool and very useful. I like it. It's good stuff. Next up we have Wails from the Grave, also at 3rd level. As you nudge someone closer to the grave, you can channel the power of death to harm someone else as well. Immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature that you can see within 30 feet of the first creature. Roll half the number of sneak attack dice for your level, round up, and the second creature takes necrotic damage equal to the roll's total, as wails of the dead sound around them for a moment. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So this will start out at 2 times per long rest at 3rd level, and that will also scale to 6 times, depending on your level. This is really cool and really useful. It gives the rogue a chance to do kind of an AoE-esque damage, and that's not bad. It'll scale pretty well. As your sneak attack damage, or sneak attack dice, number of dice scales, you will also scale with this damage as well. I'm curious to know why they went with half the dice. You're just rolling another half of your dice instead of just giving half of the sneak attack damage you just rolled. Just use half of that number. I do like it that they round it up, because in 5e, if you're doing damage or anything, it always rounds down unless specified otherwise, such as in this specific instance. Haha, English. Yeah, so you round up, which is nice, and yeah, it will scaling damage very well. Awesome, good stuff. And this will get some more, a little more love here in the future, and we'll check that out. So those are our 3rd level features. Not bad for starting off the subclass. Very cool. At 9th level, you get Tokens of the Departed. When a life ends in your presence, you're able to snatch a token from the departed soul, a sliver of its life essence that takes physical form. As a reaction, when a creature you can see dies within 30 feet of you, you can open your free hand, or open a free hand, your A, and cause a trinket, a tiny trinket, to appear there, a soul trinket. The DM determines the trinket's form, or has you roll on the trinket's table in the player's handbook to generate it. You can have a maximum number of soul trinkets equal to your proficiency bonus, and you can't create one while you're at your maximum. You can use soul trinkets in the following ways. So this is very cool. Manifesting, it's like you're taking the essence and manifesting it into something solid. The first feature is, while a soul trinket is on your person, you have an advantage on death saving throws and constitution saving throws. For your vitality is enhanced by the life essence within the object. When you deal sneak attack damage on your turn, you can destroy one of your soul trinkets that's on your person, and then immediately use Wails from the Grave without expending a use of that feature. And the third one is, as an action, you destroy one of your soul trinkets, no matter where it's located. When you do so, you ask the spirit associated with the trinket one question. The spirit appears to you and answers in a language it knew in life. It's under no obligation to be truthful, and it answers as concisely as possible, eager to be free. The spirit knows only what it knew in life, as determined by the DM. Wow, there's a lot going on here. So first off, the first feature of your soul trinket, this is really strong. So you have advantage on death saving throws and constitution saving throws. This is tremendously powerful. And the fact that this doesn't burn it. See, I probably would have had this consume a soul trinket somehow, because this is great. As long as you have one soul trinket on you, advantage on death saves and con saves, that's great. That's really powerful. And as well as your Wails from the Grave, this is a way to be able to use that more times. Again, very powerful. This does consume it, which is a nice counterbalance there, but it gives you additional uses beyond the feature as listed up in 3rd level. I like that. Giving additional uses, very cool. And yeah, being able to talk to the spirit, consume it to talk to the spirit, I think that's great, and it will open up for a lot of good RP stuff. Very cool. At 13th level, get my favorite part of the Phantom, is Ghost Walk. You can phase partially into the realm of the dead, becoming like a ghost. As a bonus action, you assume a spectral form. While in this form, you have a flying speed of 10 feet, and you can hover. And attack rolls have disadvantage against you. You can also move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside a creature or object. You stay in this form for 10 minutes, or until you end it as a bonus action. To use this feature again, you must finish a long rest, or destroy one of your soul trinkets as part of the bonus action you use to activate Ghost Walk. Man, I really like this. It's 13th level, so it's going to be difficult. A lot of campaigns don't even go to 13th level, at least a lot of the ones I've been in. So, man, would really like to see this at a lower level, but it is cool, it's useful, and you can use your soul trinkets to get further use out of it. Very awesome feature. I love it. And the capstone at 17th level is Death's Friend. Your association with death has become so close that you gain the following benefits. When you use your Wails from the Grave, you can deal necrotic damage to both the first and second creature, basically just allowing you to double tap the person that you sneak attacked, which is very cool. Tons of damage, just tons of damage. At the end of a long rest, a soul trinket appears in your hand if you don't have any soul trinkets, as the spirits of the dead are drawn to you. This, as a DM, this is really intriguing, because this means you could come up with and you know, granted, it is more work for you, but I like it. You come up with whatever trinket is going to appear in that player's hand, and if they don't have one at the end of the long rest, that is super fun. And essentially introducing a short-term NPC into the game that the player can call upon. I think this is really cool, and it ensures them that they always have a trinket at the end of a long rest to do all the cool features above. Very cool, very cool. The Phantom, I think its finalized version here is very cool. I like the subclass. Just wish I got to Ghost Walk earlier, but can't have everything. The other subclass, and another one I very much enjoy for the Rogue, is the Soul Knife. And most assassins strike with physical weapons, and many burglars and spies use thieves' tools to infiltrate secure locations. In contrast, a Soul Knife strikes and infiltrates with the mind, cutting through barriers both physical and psychic. These rogues discover psionic power within themselves and channel it to do their roguish work. They find easy employment as members of Thieves' Guild, though they're often mistrusted by rogues who are leery of anyone using strange mind powers to conduct their business. Most governments would also be happy to employ a Soul Knife as a spy. Amid the trees of ancient forest on the material plane and in the Feywild, some wood elves walk the path of the Soul Knife, serving as silent, lethal guardians of their woods. In the endless war among the Gith Zerai is encouraged to become a Soul Knife when stealth is required against the Githyanki foe. As a Soul Knife, your psionic abilities might have haunted you since you were a child, only revealing their full potential as you experience the stress of adventure. Or you might have sought out a reclusive order of psychic adepts and spent years learning how to manifest your power. Very cool thematic and in practice here with the Soul Knife. So at 3rd level, your first feature is Psionic Power. You harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. This energy is represented by your psionic energy dice, which are each a d6. You have a number of these dice equal to twice your proficiency bonus, and they fuel various psionic powers you have, which are detailed below. Some of your powers expend psionic energy die they use as specified in a power's description. And you can use a power if it requires you to use a die when your dice are all expended. You can't use that power. You regain all expended psionic energy dice when you finish a long rest. In addition, as a bonus action, you can regain 1 expended psionic energy die, but you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. When you reach certain levels in this class, the size of the psionic energy dice increases to a d8 at 5th level, a d10 at 11th, and a d12 at 17th. Whew, it's a lot to unpack there for this feature. Okay, so this pool of dice, this new pool of dice, is like your psionic energy. I like it that it scales, so d8, d10, d12. I like the scaling on it. I like the amount, double your proficiency bonus. That's way better than only your proficiency bonus. The fact that you get a free one every short rest, very nice, short or long rest. Very cool. I'm liking this currency exchange. I like currency systems. So this pool of dice seems very cool. Let's take a look at what we can do. So at 3rd level, you gain 2 abilities to use these dice with. You have Psi Bolstered Knack, and when your non-psionic training fails you, your psionic power can help. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the check, potentially turning a failure into a success. You expend the die only if the roll succeeds. So this is much like the first third level feature in the Phantom, helping you bolster your skill or tool proficiencies, your rolls there. So although that one allowed you to use something you weren't proficient in, and this one just further strengthens a skill or tool that you're already proficient in. The other feature is Psychic Whispers. You can establish telepathic communication between yourself and others, perfect for quiet infiltration. As an action, choose 1 or more creatures you can see, up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, and then roll 1 psionic energy die. For a number of hours equal to the number rolled, the chosen creatures can speak telepathically with you, and you can speak telepathically with them. To send your message, just send or receive a message, no action required, you and the other creature must be within 1 mile of each other. A creature can't use this telepathy if it can't speak any languages, and a creature can end the telepathic connection at any time, no action required. You and the creature don't need to speak a common language to understand each other. The first time you use this power after each long rest, you don't expend psionic energy die. All other times you use the power, you expend the die. So you get 1 free use of this every long rest, which is great. And the number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, so 2 to 6 creatures depending on your level. This is a very powerful and useful telepathic speaking, because you can do it to multiple creatures at the same time. You don't have to share a language with them, and the distance is up to 1 mile, and the amount of time is in hours, not in minutes. Wow, super useful. I really love where this ended up in final product, because in playtest it was kind of iffy on where they were going to finalize it at, but I very much enjoy it. Psychic Whispers in a great spot. Love the feature. Very cool. And Psychic Blade. So your other third level feature, and the Soul Knife, the knife portion of that, you can manifest your psionic power as shimmering blades of psychic energy. Whenever you take the attack action, you can manifest a Psychic Blade from your free hand and make the attack with the blade. This magic blade is a simple melee weapon with the finesse and thrown properties, and it has a normal range of 60 feet and no long range. And on a hit, it deals psychic damage equal to 1d6 plus the ability modifier you used for the attack roll. The blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses its target and leaves no mark on its target if it deals the damage. After you attack with the blade, you can make a melee or ranged weapon attack with a second psychic blade as a bonus action on the same turn, provided your other hand is free to create it. The damage die of this bonus attack is a d4 instead of a d6. So you get a free d6 attack, and essentially your short sword, your scimitar, or if you throw it, it is throwing a short sword or scimitar, which is nice. Better than throwing daggers, more boosted damage. But the best part is it does psychic damage, which less things are resistant to, and also that it leaves no mark. So for roleplay wise, you're leaving no evidence that this is how you killed the NPC or the bad guy. So very cool there, and it gives you the second to an opportunity to do a second offhand attack, so to speak, with the d4. So essentially a dagger. You're trading in your d6 for the d4, but very cool. More chances to get that sneak attack damage off. Very cool, very cool. Psychic Blades, great core feature. Let's take a look at that as we bolster it at 9th level with Soul Blades. Your Psychic Blades are now an expression of your psi-suffused soul, giving you these powers that you use your psionic energy dice. And first up, you get Homing Strikes. If you make an attack roll with your Psychic Blades and miss the target, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the attack roll. If this causes the attack to hit, you expend the psionic energy die. Very cool, very cool. That pool of dice is coming in super useful here and can help you land those crucial attacks. And the other feature is Psychic Teleportation. I really love this one. As a bonus action, you manifest one of your Psychic Blades and expend one psionic energy die and roll it, and throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see, up to a number of feet away equal to 10 times the number rolled. You then teleport to that space and the blade vanishes. This is a cool kind of sporadic teleportation thing. Man, just very cool picturing you throwing the psionic blade and then you're gauging on distance and then you just kind of snap and you poof, teleport to where the blade is. Love this feature. Love it. Very good. Very good. At 13th level, you get Psychic Veil. You can weave a veil of psychic static to mask yourself. As an action, you can magically become invisible, along with anything you're wearing or carrying, for 1 hour or until you dismiss the effect. No action required. This invisibility ends immediately after you deal damage to a creature or force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a psionic energy die to use this feature again. Again, another use of your pool of psionic energy dice, and it's a boosted invisibility because it doesn't require concentration, and it doesn't say that it ends if you take damage. So, yeah, very cool. Very cool invisibility. Next up, we have Rend Mind as our capstone. You can sweep your Psychic Blades directly through a creature's mind. When you use your Psychic Blades to deal sneak attack damage to a creature, you can force that target to make a Wisdom saving throw. DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity modifier. I'm glad they picked dexterity for that. If the save fails, the target is stunned for 1 minute. The stunned target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend 3 psionic energy dice to use it again. Awesome. Get to have a free use on a long rest, and then expend psionic energy dice to use it again. 3 of them. I love it that we're getting more mileage out of the dice. And yeah, it's very powerful because they don't even get a chance to try to become unstunned if they take damage. Oh no, they're riding that out until, was it the end of their turn? Until the end of their next turn. Very cool, very powerful, stunning. Oh, yeah, it's stunning. That's a look at all the rogue features and subclass options in Tasha's Cauldron. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see everyone again real soon as we move on to the Ranger. So thank you everyone very much for joining me. And as always, unity is strength. So take care of each other, stay safe, and we'll see you again real soon.